Hello, everyone. I am closing off my worst week in 2 months, down $3,000 on the funded account. Pretty bad week. I'm going to go over what happened this week, what's going on, my decision to not trade Thursday or Friday. I haven't taken a day off trading in a long time. I saw a post on X that really talks about the core of trading and what it means to be a profitable trader, and I think it's really important and applicable to this and my decision to not take trades on Thursday and Friday. I also have a post on journaling. I want to share kind of my outline on journaling as well. I've talked about it before, but I want to kind of guide you guys to a post on how I journal, and I think it is the reason that I did end up getting a payout last month. If I were to point to something in specific that helped me more than anything, it would be journaling and the exact methodology in journaling. Really tough week this week. I took 7 trades, and 6 of the 7 were losses. Really, really, really bad. Now, this does fully erase, or not fully, almost fully erase last week, where I had my best week ever, coming off of a 7 week win streak and an 8 day win streak, 3,400 last week, and coming into this week, losing 3,200, breaking the win streak. But why did I not trade Thursday and Friday? And I think it really comes down to two large things. Number one, I started to build confidence in my edge. Like, this week was a bad week. It was. It was a really bad week. But I've had 7 great weeks building up to this. One bad week does not erase 6 bad or 6 good weeks. I've been doing really well. I think I have a profitable edge. Now, this leads into the next point, which I think is super important. If you are a trader wanting to turn profitable, I think this is the core of what it means to be a profitable trader. It does not lie in your strategy alone. There's a reason pattern trading, algo trading, you can't just learn the strategy and be profitable within a month by following these robotic commands of candle, 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 long, make money, candle, 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 short, make money. Like, that doesn't work. It's not that easy, and there's a reason for that, and it lies within market intuition, that market experience. This post I saw, great post. I think it I think it kills it. Knowing when to stop for the day, knowing when to press, understanding what P&L is possible for current environments. It's very specific, it's very niche. I'm still learning that. I'm still struggling with that. Knowing when to expand targets, sizing down when you're struggling. I think this is really like this is what it means to become profitable, is when you master these things. Leading into that, you cannot master what you do not measure. Now, developing this market intuition and this market experiencing, what does that mean? What does it mean to develop market experience? It means you remember conditions. And how do you remember things? You think about things. The whole point of journaling is to force thought, force memory, force experience, get to that point faster. I made a post today. I won't go through it. I do encourage you to check it out. I'll link it in the description. This is my guide to journaling. It hits the 4 points that I like to do every single journal. And if I were to point to something again, like I said, that is the reason that I got a payout and I'm doing better, it would be this. You can't come in, learn a strategy, and start trading right away and be profitable. It takes a long time because you're building that experience, you're building that edge. And this is something that I am kind of proud of that I did this week, stepping away Thursday and Friday. Like I said, I haven't taken a day off trading in a long time. Like, I traded Thanksgiving Eve when it opened for Asia session. I trade a lot. I do trade a lot. But I took Thursday and Friday off because after losing, I recognized that in these conditions, I don't really know where we're headed. To be completely honest, I don't know where we're going. Now, on a high time frame perspective, I do believe that we're headed for these all time highs. I think that's pretty clear. That's where we're going. But daily, like, this is a pretty choppy week. We came off this week where I just crushed it from here to here. I mean, this was a great week for me. I killed it. Very clear, we're going up. But this week was really choppy. daily bias was kind of conflicting, and there were some clear daily biases, but I was just getting wicked out. This is really clear when you look at the 4 hour or the hourly, where we have even more so on ES, which I'll flip to in a second. We have a really strong, clear trending. Like we are bullish. This is clear that we are bullish right here. And then we kind of get to a lot of chopping where we're not really making a lot of progress on these days, or maybe we do make progress, but then we get rid of it the next day, and we're not really drawing towards anything on a high time frame except for really this high or all-time highs. ES, it was even more clear. We had a lot more stagnant growth on ES. Looking at these days, I have a strict criteria that I follow for determining my daily bias. It is concrete, it is rule based, it is if it closes within this range of the previous candle, then I look for this. And that occurred yesterday. That occurred today, where I could have said, okay, it did this, that means I'm looking for this. But it's just kind of unclear. I think one of the best rules of thumb for when you are deciding if you should or should not trade on a day is how long does it take for you to spot your setup compared to your average time. Setups should jump out to you. Trades should jump out to you. It should be pretty clear, like, hey, I'm going to take this trade. This is a clear winning trade. I have confidence in it. If it takes you some time to consider if it's going to win or not, or you're unsure, that in itself is a good sign that maybe you should skip. And that's what I experienced. I was coming off of a really hot streak, winning 8 days in a row, 7 weeks in a row. Like, I'm running hot. I'm running hot, and I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling confident. And I should have stopped earlier. Hindsight's 2020. And then I was coming into the market and had that kind of hotness feel of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just keep winning, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And then the market takes no hesitant in humbling you, and it did quickly. These are just not my conditions, you know. And there was moments in here where it's kind of unclear, and I'll go ahead and mark out some of them for you. So all-time highs is kind of clear. We're headed towards here, but we also are now building these failure swings down here. All this generated liquidity could be swept, but we did just sweep this high. So are we going to reject, or are we going to go towards all-time highs? I don't know. The weekly closed bullish, so we're probably going to go higher and at least take out this wick next week. But are we going to come for these lows beforehand? ES closed within the range of this previous candle, but NQ didn't. So technically this is a bullish bias, and technically this is a bearish bias. So there's all these kind of conflicting signals for me. And that in itself is a good sign to skip. And I might skip again Monday. And that comes back to this post of being a profitable trader it lies in your experience in knowing when to capitalize on your strategy and your approach versus when not to. That's why I like to say that there is no golden strategy, and I really truly believe that. There is no strategy that this is the holy grail that will make you profitable, because any strategy can. You just have to become a master in knowing when it applies and when it does not apply. It's why I built a buffer to brace myself for a losing streak. And here we are. We're on a losing streak, but I still could lose 5 more trades and still have the account. I've seen a lot of people take December off and saying December PA is bad. I don't think I'm experienced enough to know that yet. So far, it's been bad for me and my approach in the market, but I've also had a friend of mine text me today and say he had his best day ever. So I think it's one of those things where it's individualized. How do you trade? What's your strategy? Does it apply in these scenarios more than it does in prior scenarios? And I think it's a good opportunity for me right now. Personally, I only have one fund account that I'm trading with. Say next year, maybe I've got 10. Maybe I'm doing really well. I'm growing. Maybe I've got 10 fund accounts. Do I really want to be trying it out and trying what December feels like when I've got a lot more to lose? Probably not. So this is a bit of a learning phase for me, same as I did early on in the stages of kind of revamping everything I was doing. I said I'm going to trade everything. I'm going to jump in head first, and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and I'm going to try to learn from each and every single one of them as fast as I can, because that is the way you grow. And I want to go through that quickly. So I am going to trade December. I'm not going to skip. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about them skipping, and I have no judging against that at all. Know your edge. Know when you can perform your best, and if you can know that, then you're a winner. And it takes a long time to know that, and I think this calendar clearly shows that I'm still learning that. I think these were great days because, looking in hindsight, if I were to have traded Thursday and Friday, there's no doubt I would have lost money. I would have. Looking at these candles, looking at the daily, looking at the hourly, and the trades here, I definitely would have lost money on Thursday and on Friday. I just would have. So it's almost that dopamine hit of confirmation that, hey, you didn't make the wrong choice, you made the right choice, and that does feel great. I am happy to feel that, because if I saw like really good trades, then this would be a different video of like, oh, I made a mistake and I was doubtful and I shouldn't have done this and whatever. But we learn and we keep swimming, and I'm going to keep doing my edge the exact way I have and journaling the exact way I have. I'll link this post in the description because I think it's really helpful in identifying how to journal. I don't see a lot of people talk about the way they journal. I think this is really important. Like, really, like, this is the key to growth. Personalized growth. Trading is personal. You need a personalized solution, and this is how I got there. Anyways, Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching.